So, this is the Cosmic Astrology Insights for December 2024, embracing reflection, renewal, and cycles of transformation. And so, it's really about the cosmic influences for December and just some of the themes of healing, freedom, and the energy of new beginnings. So, as we step into the final month of 2024, the cosmic landscape is really inviting us to pause, reflect, and recalibrate. If you've listened to the previous two episodes, you probably have heard me say recalibrate quite a bit because we are in a recalibration, my friends. And so, with both Mercury and Mars retrograde, we may feel the pull to slow down, allowing our hearts and minds to rest. This unique alignment encourages us for to go into introspection, yet also brings with it the potential for frustration, a sense of sluggishness, and almost an palpable resistance to forward momentum. The beauty of being human, my friends. So, with that, though, you just want to check in to see where you are and what is needed and use your tools, especially using discernment to see what it is that's really going on and what you need. Because this is a month where pushing ahead may not be the most fruitful approach. Instead, December calls us to embrace a slower pace, prioritizing deep self care and mindful rest. The retrograde energies of Mercury and Mars, both in motion backward, can create feelings of mental and physical fatigue, making this an ideal time to avoid overcommitting and take stock of what we truly need. The holiday season, typically associated with bustling travel and family gatherings, may feel more overwhelming than usual. If you've been longing for a more quieter, more peaceful, close to the end of the year, let the stars give you permission, my friends, to take it easy and honor the need for space and reflection. While the retrograde may slow us down, there is a powerful opportunity to resolve lingering issues from the past 6 months. With Neptune stationing direct on December 7th, we begin to then see a shift in our awareness. Illusions dissipate and new truths emerge, bringing clarity where there once was confusion. So, this is a time of integration where the threads of our experience over the last few months come together, offering deeper understanding and insight. One of the most exciting celestial events of December is the black moon, and an occurrence when two new moons grace the same calendar month. We begin December with the Sagittarius new moon on the 1st, followed by the Capricorn new moon on the 30th. New moons symbolize fresh starts, new cycles, new beginnings, and powerful opportunities for planting seeds. These two new moons, each aligned with distinct energies, offer us a unique opportunity for growth and intention setting. The Sagittarius new moon invites us to dream big. Dream big, my friends. Expand our horizons and take bold steps towards adventure and exploration. It's a time to tune in to that call for greater freedom, optimism, and that philosophical expansion. As we move toward Capricorn new moon, the energy shifts toward practicality, ambition, and grounding because we're also moving into the new year. It's time then to channel the inspiration of Sagittarius into achievable goals, setting clear intentions that will guide us into the new year. Together, these new moons create a harmonious balance between vision and action, setting the stage for transformative change. Adding to the magic of December is the solstice, a sacred day when the sun's energy reaches its peak. Whether we experience the longest night or the longest day, the solstice is a profound reminder of the cyclical nature of life, the cycles of life. As the earth tilts, we are offered the opportunity to honor the light within and reflect on the darkness that has shaped our growth. This is a moment to pause, to take inventory and to prepare for the rebirth of light as we approach the end of 2024. Take time to honor the journey you've been on, even if this year has been marked by challenges or unexpected detours. Remember, the cycles of the cosmos are always in motion. Nothing stays the same forever. Just as the sun rises and sets, we too are in constant evolution, moving through phases of rest, growth, and transformation. December's energies offer a beautiful invitation to reflect, release, and realign as we prepare to welcome the promise of new beginnings in 2025. And I say yes to all that, my friends, because 2024, has been an interesting year. All right, let's break down the key astrological dates for December 2024, embracing the cosmic flow. So, as we navigate through December 2024, the stars offer a powerful mix of energy for both reflection and growth. And here are some of the key astrological moments to be mindful of. November 30th and December 1st, that was the Sagittarius new moon, which I did talk about and I did do a podcast episode on. But just as a reminder, because we are still in the energy of it and it's still an important connection from the beginning to the end of the month. So we begin the month with a fresh lunar cycle, and the new moon invites us to embrace possibilities of new beginnings. The Sagittarius energy is expansive, adventurous, and filled with optimism. The symbol of the archer encourages us to take aim at our dreams, knowing that with focus and determination, we can reach new heights. This is a powerful time to plant bold, ambitious seeds for the year ahead. Let the excitement of what's to come spark awe and wonder in your heart. With Jupiter, the planet of abundance and expansion, opposing this new moon, we are urged to find the silver lining in every circumstance, even if challenges have arisen. Trust that there is always room for growth, and the universe has a way of guiding us toward greater possibilities. All right, then December 2nd through the 4th is the Antares Beneficial Stargate Portal. And if you did the new moon meditation, the quantum energy healing meditation that's up on the podcast as well, or on YouTube, then I did also talk about Antares. So during this period, the sun aligns with Antares, one of the four royal stars known as the heart of the scorpion. Antares brings deep transformative energy, opening our hearts to abundance, creativity, and compassion. Their powerful alignment encourages us to connect more deeply with ourselves and those around us. In some spiritual traditions, Antares is seen as the resting place for souls transitioning to the afterlife, offering them a space to reflect on their life's journey. We need not wait until life's end to engage in this profound reflection. Under this Stargate portal, it's we want to consider the course of our own life. Are there relationships to heal, people to forgive, ourselves to forgive, perhaps even messages to send or calls to make? Use this time to align with peace and acceptance of what has unfolded. Okay, December 4th, Mercury retrograde opposite Jupiter. So Mercury retrograde, which began on November 25th, reaches an alignment with Jupiter, the planet of expansion. While Mercury retrograde often brings miscommunication and delays, Jupiter's influence amplifies these challenges. However, there is a silver lining. Mercury retrograde is also a period of heightened intuition. Listen closely to your inner wisdom during this time. Trust your gut, especially regarding the timing of events and decision in your life. While things may feel disjointed or delayed, your instincts are more attuned than ever. So, also on December 4th, it's a big day. Sun squares Saturn, and this alignment can feel like a challenge, as Saturn calls us to account for our boundaries, commitments, and responsibilities. The Sun squares Saturn, creating potential tension or frustration. If you feel tested or pushed to your limits, use this time to assess where you might need to recalibrate. Pay attention to the areas of your life where you may need to set stronger boundaries or be more mindful of your energy. This is a perfect moment to realign and make conscious choices about where to direct your focus and efforts throughout the month. Okay, December 5th, Sun conjuncts with Mercury retrograde. So this is a powerful moment within Mercury and retrograde cycle. Mercury Kazemi brings clarity, insight. This is the point where the retrograde energy begins to shift, and we start seeing through any confusion or mental fog. This is when revelations may emerge about what may have been simmering below the surface. So, allowing us to make sense of any kind of recent miscommunications or inner stirrings. So, this is a moment to trust the unfolding process. My friends, don't rush ahead. Give things time to settle. And remember, Mercury in retrograde can lead to moments of forgetfulness. So, be extra mindful of your personal belongings and details in your environment. As December unfolds, the stars are really inviting us to slow down, reflect, and make intentional space for insights and growth. So embrace these cosmic moments as opportunities to deepen your connection to yourself and the universe and step into a new year with greater clarity and purpose. Okay, so with that, then navigating cosmic shifts with purpose. So, as we step really into December and the cosmic energies are inviting us to realign with our deeper purpose, and it's really inviting us to take time then in that reflection, your connection to deeper purpose. What is your deeper purpose, my friends? And, it's interesting because earlier I was writing and I had a moment when I was recalling when I was young, around 5 years old, and how I had a conversation with my spirit guides, and I remember it so clearly where it was shown and it was being discussed how one day I'd be living in California and I would be working in television. And it was such a true sense of knowingness. I had such a gut reaction of knowingness, like, yes, that is knowingness. That is part of my divine design. Yes. And so from that day on, I had a clarity of like, that's one day what I was working towards and going towards. And so, I went through 12 years of school, and then I went to college. And all through it, though, I had an understanding and a real knowingness that one day I would be, everything I was doing, the steps were leading to it. And eventually I did move to California and I worked in television. And then somewhere along the way, you come to a completion of that experience. And I remember some years ago, when I didn't have that feeling of knowingness anymore. And it was such an interesting experience because I'm like, I don't have that knowingness, that sense of purpose. Where'd it go? What happened? And I really wondered, you know, am I going to have that level of knowingness ever again where, what I'm doing, the work that I'm doing now, does it fulfill me? Does it bring me purpose? Yes. Do I understand that it's part of my divine design? Yes. But it's a different sense in regard to the calling. And so this summer, I started seeing once again, I started seeing, oh, wait, there's a calling that's happening and it's connected to that deep level of knowingness. And I started being guided towards that. And now in November, the first week of November, I shifted into it. I shifted into the knowingness that I once felt as a child, but it's different now because the calling is also different, but it still is that energy of understanding of that part of being your divine design. And but the thing is though, friends, everything that has led me to this point has brought me to this point. And all those skills that I've learned all these years have supported me in my evolution of this moment. I couldn't get to this moment of the knowingness in regard to my purpose and in my divine design if I hadn't gone through those other experiences to bring me here because it's all in the unfolding. And I think that's the most challenging part sometimes in being human, where you're like, this is the unfolding. This is the unfolding. I'm in the unfolding, people. And you're surrendering and you're trusting, but yet you're like, but am I trusting? I feel there's a little mistrust there too. And and so being humaning is so unbelievably complex at times. Yes, is it simple too? Sometimes it's simple, but sometimes it's really complex. And so that's where you have to bring in then compassion and care and joy for the human and just remembering to be in that present moment and just give gratitude for all that it is. And sometimes it is a mixed bag. Sometimes the clarity just hasn't come yet in regard to your divine design. Sometimes you just haven't shifted into it yet because the veil hasn't completely lifted, or maybe the stars and the moon and the planets haven't aligned. I definitely, for myself, I feel like there's been a huge shift in, just in the last you know, year or so in regard to also what's going on with, Pluto and Aquarius. I have definitely felt a huge shift. And so I'm sharing this because it is really something to understand how we are so much a part of something so much bigger than we even understand, and your piece of it does matter. And if you haven't completely shifted into your purpose, your deep purpose of knowingness, that knowingness where you just understand in a way that is just so felt in your bones, it is okay. It is okay to be confused. It is okay to be confused and yet still show up to keep learning and growing. And it doesn't mean that you're not fully invested in what you're doing. It's just you may be learning a skill that's connected to something even greater, or you're learning some sort of connection to some sort of energy that you need to understand. And it could be, you know what is it like to be in a state of the in between. And I think, for me, because I had that sense of understanding where I was going since I was a child in terms of the intuitive downloads I received, it was quite a surprise when I was like, "Oh, this is what some of my friends have been talking about, that they didn't have that deep sense of purpose. They didn't know where they were going for many years. They felt like they were floating." And so I had a lot of compassion when they first shared it with me, but then y'all, I had even more compassion and understanding when I was in the experience of it, and I had a greater awareness to be able to hold consciousness space, which then, in being an energy practitioner, part of it is, you know, the more in terms of the practicality of the lived experience in this physical world that you can bring to hold that consciousness space, the more then you can allow in holding that space to ask for it to be cleared. Because if your human is in some sort of space of gaslighting or not recognizing something, or in some sort of like aspect of not wanting to see something for whatever reason, there's a lot of reasons things can happen, then then you can, you're still the other person who's receiving the energy session. They call to them what they want for their highest good, but we live in a physical world. And so when another person is able to anchor in awareness and consciousness, it allows then the greater clearing to happen, because you're anchoring more light in and asking for this to be resolved, because we have free will. We're bringing in self awareness, self realization. And in that self realization, that's when we open up to the aha moment to ask for a clearing to happen. So, part of this then is we're navigating cosmic shifts with purpose, right? Where we're being realigned with our deeper purpose and refining how we then approach our energy, our relationships, our growth. And I'm sharing my experience because I also just want to let you know, wherever you are, it is completely okay. And I do also recognize too, if you are feeling confused or not knowing where you're going and you feel lost, y'all, I have been there. I mean, I have been I have felt many times that I'm on the island. I feel alone, not sure how to get off the island. How do we make a bridge? And even with my connection to my guides, and I've been talking to them since I was a child, it's still in this physical world. It's still at times really nice to have physical conversations with people or have hugs. And I think that's the most, challenging sometimes part in this experience, where how do we work more together to support one another in terms of harmony and working with one another and encouraging each other and supporting each other. And which also, me experiencing these things has brought me to a place where I just have greater awareness of, like, okay, this is in terms of where earth is. And in it, then you just understand it's the isness. There's not right, wrong, good or bad. There's an isness. And so within the isness, we start to then invite in, how can we bring in more clarity? How can we start to bring in these shifts into the physical world so that way they're anchored more? And so, long story short, with all of this, then, no matter where you are, as I'm sharing these things, if I'm saying purpose and you're like, oh, I don't even know what my purpose is, and that's coming up and that feels scary or frustrating or sad, or, ooh, it just triggers you, or you want to turn it off, I'm just holding a space for compassion for you, because I also know what that's like to be out there bobbing around in the ocean and not even sure if I'm going to find my way back to the shoreline, or if anybody's going to come out and say, like, "Hey, you okay out there?" or "Where am I going?" Um, and the only thing that I can say for me that supported me and in what helps my clients is making sure you're using your tools and supporting yourself, and whatever that looks for you: meditation, energy work, journaling, mindfulness, somatic experiencing, yoga, running, whatever it looks for you. Just keep in your practices, keep in your practices, keep in your support, and just know also, intention wise, setting your intentions. One of my intentions early on was when I was going through healing work PTSD and also career transitioning. One of my intentions really was, I'm okay. And I've had that since I was a child, actually. The guides gave it to me. That's another story, though. But I'm okay has been an intention and an affirmation that has been a lifeline for me for many, many, many opportunities. And specifically in that career transition in healing work PTSD, there were many days where I woke up when I was like, whoo, I do not feel okay. And I definitely, like, purpose wasn't even, I couldn't even get to purpose because I didn't even feel okay. I had work PTSD. I had had a massive disassociation that that created a lot of difficulties and pain in my physical body, and that had to heal. So basically, though, then with it, at that time, my purpose was to heal. My purpose was, I'm okay. It didn't have to be a grander purpose in, I'm making, such a big life-changing difference here, there. I think sometimes we put pressure on ourselves when it comes to purpose. Your purpose, it might be just literally showing up in your beingness, which often the guides talk about to me. They often talk about and say, the real purpose for being human is you showing up in your light, in your beingness. So wherever you go, you literally are on purpose and in purpose. There can just be various times in your lifetime that you might be called to action. It's like you're activated. And when you're activated in a calling, it's like a whole nother level, because in the knowingness, and you're like, oh, I've got something I need to do X, Y, and Z. And then that something to do in that level of purpose, it might come to a completion and you've done it. And then you're just allowed to do your own beingness, just shining your light and just showing up and enjoying being human. So sometimes that's what it can look like. And for some people, that can be their whole life, where their deeper purpose is literally them showing up and being in their humanness, in their experience, because there's so many various ways that purpose can look like. And so again, it's not right, wrong, good or bad. There's no judgment. It's just you want to definitely, if you're looking at purpose from a certain, perspective, you want to take that perspective off and you want to ask to widen out the lens. You want to ask to see it from a bird's eye view, because you won't believe how much you're probably doing now that is actually in purpose, that is supporting so much more than you even understand. Like, even when I was healing work PTSD, it's like now I can't tell you how many people have told me that in my sharing my story of how I healed work PTSD or career transitioned, how it's given them hope and inspiration. And and so that had a purpose. Even though it was a very painful experience for my human at the time, that had a purpose and it taught me so much more. And so navigating cosmic shifts with purpose, allowing you then to go into deeper purpose. And that really is your beingness, in terms of you being a human and allowing your light to shine through, and then refining how we approach our energy, relationships, and growth. And so, with that, I'm going to continue doing the key astrological events that's going to shape this month, along with the practices that can help harness the potentials for mindfulness and transformation. Okay, December 6th. Mars retrograde begins recalibrating our energy. Recalibration is a big, big theme for this month, friends. If you listen to the energy forecast, I talked about it there. If you're going to be in the dowsing energy group session on Saturday, I'll be talking about it there. So December 6th, Mars retrograde begins, recalibrating our energy. Mars, the planet of action and drive, enters retrograde on December 6th, making this one of the most important cosmic events of the year. Mars retrograde is rare, occurring only every 2 years, and offers a powerful opportunity to reassess how we direct our energy. While Mars retrograde may slow us down, it's not time to feel discouraged, my friends. Rather, it's an invitation to reorganize our priorities. Mars will retrograde through Leo, urging us to reconnect with self love and authenticity and heart driven passions. And then going into Cancer, the focus shifts to our emotional world, where we turn our focus toward family, home, emotional well being, and inner security. So you want to use this time to reflect on where you're investing your energy and whether it's aligned with your truest values. As you navigate through this period, consider grounding practices, like energy work, meditation, journaling, anything that's going to help you honor the natural rhythms of rest and reflection during this time of adjustment. The Mars retrograde cycle is one of the most significant cosmic events of the year. As Mars retrogrades less frequently than other planets, this cycle asks us to consider how we use our energy and what drives us. Mars retrograde brings a natural slowdown, inviting us to pause, reflect, and reorganize our priorities. This may manifest as a dip in motivation, but it's also a vital part of the process to recalibrate and reharmonize. So the Mars retrograde, it lasts, my friends, until February 2025, making it an ideal time to reassess and renew your goals and energy flow. Okay, December 6th and 7th, Venus conjuncts Pluto, power in relationships. So as Venus moves into Aquarius and aligns with Pluto, the planet of transformation, expect deep shifts in your relationships. This alignment can bring intense energy to our relationships. Challenging dynamics may arise, but this can also fuel personal empower. This aspect can highlight power struggles, but also can offer opportunities for transformation. So if you've been feeling the pull to assert your voice or make changes in your personal connections, this is the time to honor your feminine strength and step into your power. Pay attention to any emotional undercurrents that emerge as they could be catalysts for growth. You may find it helpful to incorporate practices of self compassion and reflection to navigate this intense energy with grace, and also use your energy tools to support you. Remember, you are an empowered creator, you're an energy alchemist, my friends. Also, with that, then, if you are seeking to create change, tapping into your feminine power, whether through grace or strategic insight, it will guide you toward your desires. Trust the process, even if it feels intense or confronting. Okay, December 7th, Sun opposite Jupiter, lucky rays of expansion. With the sun opposite Jupiter, we're blessed with the opportunity for expansive growth and abundance. While Jupiter is often considered the planet of luck, just a reminder that luck can also be seen as an opportunity meets preparedness. So take this moment to evaluate your goals and plans. Align them with your authentic vision and prepare to receive the blessings the universe is sending your way. Trust that this period is bringing an opening for both personal and professional growth. Okay, December 7th, Neptune direct clarity from the cosmos. After a retrograde period that allowed us to deepen our intuition and explore higher dimensions, Neptune stations direct, bringing a wave of clarity and insight. Neptune's retrograde opened our third eye to hidden truths, and now as it moves forward, we can integrate this wisdom into our daily lives. As Neptune stations direct, we shift from the introspective energy of its retrograde to a clearer, more inspired vision. This is a powerful moment for reconnecting with your intuition and trusting the insights that arise. If you've experienced any periods of confusion, Neptune's direct motion can bring clarity and open beneficial portals of understanding. So you may begin to see the world or certain situations in a new light. Honor your authentic self and trust your inner guidance. Trust the guidance of your intuition and be open to seeing situations from a new perspective. This is a powerful moment for alignment with your higher self. I mean, any moment is, but you know what I mean. Okay, December 12th, Venus opposite retrograde Mars. It is the 12-12 beneficial portal, balance between masculine and feminine. I did do a whole episode regarding the feminine, and I definitely recommend tuning into that because, y'all, there is going to be a shift and things are moving. Okay, so Venus and Mars are now positioned on an opposite end of the zodiac, encouraging us to find a balance between the masculine and feminine energies within. The 12-12 amplifies this energy, a number of completion, clarity, and illumination. 12 is the number of cycles, and today invites you to reflect on what is ending or coming full circle in your life. Honor your journey and hold space for insight to emerge. Take time to reflect on your personal balance of giving and receiving, whether you're allowing yourself to rest or constantly striving for more. This day offers an opportunity for deeper inner work, helping you to realign with your values, my friends, and priorities. As an energy practitioner and someone who honors transformation, this is a beautiful day to engage in grounding meditations and also do a sacred space for reflection as well. Okay, so December 15th, Gemini full moon and Mercury direct, finalizing and moving forward. Okay, so the final full moon of 2024 falls in Gemini, inviting us to release old patterns and beliefs that no longer support our highest good. This dual nature of Gemini, one twin immortals and one immortal, reminds us to honor both our spiritual and physical senses. The full moon marks a powerful time of completion and endings, making it the ideal time to clear away what you do not wish to carry into the new year. With Mercury also going direct, clarity arrives, and any communications or insights that were delayed will now come through. Take note of the messages that present themselves as they may carry divinely inspired guidance, my friends. Okay, so December 18th, Sun square Neptune. Trust your intuition. As the Sun squares Neptune, be aware of any illusions or distractions that may arise. This is the time when the lessons from Neptune's retrograde may resurface. urging us to trust our instincts. If something feels off, listen to your inner voice and take a step back to reassess. The cosmic tension calls for discernment and encourages us to stand firm in our truth. December 19th, Venus trine Jupiter, creative abundance. On December 19th, the harmonious alignment of Venus and Jupiter brings a burst of joy and creative energy. It is a wonderful day to engage in activities that bring you joy, whether that's expressing yourself through art, connecting with loved ones, or stepping into a leadership role. The universe is supporting you with abundant positive energy. So use this day to shine your light, my friends, and embrace the flow of opportunities. Okay, December 21st, solstice, sun enters Capricorn, a time for reflection and growth. So, December 21st, we're entering Capricorn season and we are celebrating solstice, depending on where you are in the world. Here in the US, it is winter solstice. And no matter, solstice is a pivotal turning point in the cycle of the year. The solstice marks either the longest or the shortest day, depending on the location, but is a reminder of the natural cycles of life. In Capricorn, we honor our ambitions and our innate gifts and our drive to succeed. This season calls for reflection on the past year and setting intentions for the year ahead. So engage in mindfulness practices to acknowledge all that you've accomplished and be sure to honor your personal milestones with gratitude and pride. I do a little cheerleading. Woo! I'm like a cheerleader for humanity, but I also was a cheerleader in elementary school and high school. And part of what I loved about being a cheerleader was literally to like cheer on the team, like, woo, come on, team. And so it is very fitting because I feel like I'm literally a cheerleader for humanity. Woo, good job. You can do it. Humaning is amazing, complicated, but amazing. And so take that time to give yourself the cheering. Woo! And the gratitude. Pat yourself on the back. Good job. Y'all, 2024 was a very interesting year. So give yourself a moment to honor your personal milestones and gratitude. And also then as we're moving through the transformative month, remember that every astrological event presents an opportunity for growth, whether it's recalibrating your energy or embracing your authenticity. Take each cosmic shift as a chance to realign with your inner truth and purpose. Allow the universe to support you, my friends. Allow the planetary movements to guide you, to help you. It's all happening for us for the highest good. But always remember that your personal connection to your energy and intuition will help you navigate the cosmic flow with ease. Your connection to your higher self soul, your connection to your guide team, you checking in with your heart. That's really, really so important. Okay, December 27th, Venus squares Uranus. Embrace your authentic desires. When Venus squares Uranus, expect some sparks to fly in your relationships and values. So, this is a moment of tension, possibly between the need for stability and the desire for freedom. Instead of reacting impulsively or trying to please others, this is a perfect time to honor your own desires. Slow down, slow down. Remember, that's one of the themes this month. Slow down and take a step back. Make space to prioritize what you truly want, not what you think others expect of you. What you truly want, not what you want. And it's like I say that and I immediately my mom comes to my mind because my mom in a lot of ways probably fostered, you know, independence in each of our children and, us wanting what we want. But then, there's a point though where I think for her, what I truly wanted was so different than what she could imagine. But because of my knowingness at the age of 5 years old, and I just had such a clarity on it. So when you have that level of knowingness, you're just, even though it doesn't make any sense to anybody outside of you. And I lived in a small town in Massachusetts and it just didn't make any sense. Sometimes it can be really challenging. So I say, like, make space to prioritize what you truly want, not what you think others expect of you. And Even though my mom wanted her children to go explore the world, I'm not sure she necessarily understood the level of what that meant. And because I had such a level of knowingness that California was going to be a place and working in television, I had to really, I leaned in. That knowingness just really moved me through a lot of confusion of outside noise, what you think others expect of you. And so even if others were expecting X, Y, and Z, me to go into, more of a traditional route back then, when I was in college in the 90s, and it the knowingness cut through that clutter to not let me get caught in confusion, even if others couldn't see it. I had that insight even though I didn't know how it was gonna really unfold. So, I share that because as I'm saying these things, I know sometimes things can click with you where you're like, "Oh, yeah," or you're like, "What does that mean?" And you might have to just ask yourself a few times, like, "What does that mean?" Or what's the realization on that? Or allow it to marinate, really marinate, and allow the plant the seeds. And when the seeds are planted, you'll get the information. That's where trusting comes in. Really trusting that you'll receive the information you need to as you need to for your highest good. And know that we go through many different phases. And so letting yourself be in that process of flow, no matter where you are, understanding that you're okay, bringing in safety to yourself and the human, regrounding, realigning, shifting from 3D to 5D, allowing yourself to strengthen your connection to your higher self soul, and then really setting those intentions and knowing that they're going to happen and unfold as they need to for the highest good, and being in that process of trust. So, with that, then, just take some time. You're really honoring and being gentle as you move through this process. Let this energy this month be a gentle reminder that true harmony really begins with you and your authentic self, unapologetically taking a day for yourself, reconnecting with what feels right, embracing the freedom that comes from saying, no when necessary, out of the energy of love and care and compassion for yourself and others, and knowing that that's okay. All right. So then on December 29th, Chiron goes direct. It's a healing turning point, my friends. Chiron, the wounded healer, stations direct, marking a powerful turning point in our healing journey. As Chiron moves forward, we are invited to embrace our wounds as sacred teachers, illuminating our path toward deeper authenticity. This moment is an invitation to recognize that our past pain does not define us. Instead, it creates a space for us to grow into a more empowered version of ourselves. So, reflect on where you may have been holding on to past hurts and allow this energy to help you heal old wounds. Really help yourself to heal those old wounds. While healing takes time sometimes in the physical world, this is an empowering reminder that even with our wounds, we can still create a beautiful, harmonious, balanced, purposeful life. Okay, December 30th is that black new moon we talked about in Capricorn. Set bold, grounded intentions for the new year. And if you are in my Patreon, meditate with me, and the all access levels, y'all, we're going to be doing a 2-day, 2-day intention setting for the new year. It's actually going to be on Saturday and Sunday, 28th and 29th. But y'all, we're going to be in that new moon energy already, because usually it's coming in like 3 days before, 3 days after. So I'm very excited about that. The new year, the New Year 2-day intention setting workshop that we're going to be doing, that includes multiple energy healing meditations and goal setting. If you're interested in doing that, I will put the links for the Patreon in the show notes area. All right, the new moon. The second new moon, so it's about setting bold, grounded intentions for the new year. Bold, big dreams, y'all. Second new moon, I'm just going to say it too. Like so this year, has been really about me being consistent on YouTube. The guides really, came in last year, at the end of last year. So if you're on YouTube, I'm actually currently live streaming on YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you've been a part of the community, the guides really had to workshop with me last year, because my podcast on Spotify and wherever you listen to podcasts is in over it's in 30 countries, I think, and has a really good size audience on the podcast side, and it has been growing nicely. And yet last year the guides came in and said, "Hey, it's time to be consistent with YouTube and posting on YouTube." And I was like, "Oh," which I talked a lot about it in the beginning of this year. I had some resistance about coming on YouTube. And then, part of it was as somebody who's an entrepreneur, and I have a private practice of clients, and then I have my podcast, social media. It's like another thing that you're adding on to the human. And I was like, "Oh my God." And it felt very overwhelming at first. Felt very overwhelming. Like, it was another thing I had to do. And I really had to workshop. I had resistance, and the guides came in. There was like 4 different conversations with me on it. And then I you know, got together with my higher self soul, and I was like, "All right, how can we do this? How can we make it more efficient, effortlessly, in flow, that I don't feel like it's more additional work for myself?" And then, the whole notion of just doing live streaming, so that way it was one less thing I had to upload and things like that, which that became like, okay, I can see how it's more efficient then, because I can go live streaming to YouTube and Facebook at the same time, and then I can upload it to my podcast. And so anyway, it's you bringing in the possibilities. But this whole year, there's been different experiences with YouTube where I had a lot of audio issues in the beginning of the year, had a lot of audio issues and some other tech issues that I have not had on other streaming platforms, which was so interesting and were challenging for me. And my power positive word for this year was unstoppable. And that word so many times where I was like, "Oh, I'm having challenges with YouTube, but I'm not having challenges on XYZ platforms." And the guides would come in and say, "Really? Is that what's going to stop you? Like, that's going to stop you from posting on YouTube?" And it would make me laugh, because I'm like, "Oh my God, that's so funny. Is that going to stop me?" Like, all right, touche. That's not going to stop me. I'm going to keep posting on YouTube. And now, like during the summer, I had a huge, a huge shift with YouTube. And people started reaching out to me, sending me messages on other platforms or on YouTube, and just some of the most loving, kind messages. Just so, whoo, y'all. I mean, I felt that in the heart, and I was like, wow, I'm so grateful that I'm on YouTube. And the thing of it is, though, this year has been about consistency and getting used to being on YouTube and making it a part of like my everyday world. The challenge, though, with me for YouTube and my meditations is that currently, because I only have, I think, I'm not even sure where I'm at with followers, but I don't have 1,000 subscribers, and I'm not at the 4,000 hour mark. So you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of listen to in order to actually um, go into the next phase with YouTube, where then you can let them know where you want ads. So right now, I don't have any control of where ads go. No control of where ads go. And so in my meditations on YouTube, unless you have if you have the premium on YouTube, then you're not gonna have ads in the meditations. But if you don't have the premium on YouTube, you're gonna have ads in the meditations. And so there was a point where I was also getting a lot of messages about how disruptive the ads were. And one person even said to me that I was really that I was greedy, that I was corporate greed for wanting to collect so much ad dollars. And God bless the world that we've created. And yeah, I get it. I get the frustration. And so I gently explained that I don't have any control over where the ads are currently on my YouTube channel because I do not have enough subscribers on YouTube and I do not have enough hours listened to on YouTube. However, I'm consistently showing up and I'm really working at that. And so if you could please, work with me, I would really appreciate that. So that way in the future, I can change that where, put the ads, ask then YouTube put the ads in the beginning and at the end. So they won't be disruptive to meditations because I understand that it is a whole nother level of practicing mindfulness when an ad comes in the middle of a meditation where you are connecting with the full moon or Jupiter, or you're talking to your guides, and all of a sudden an ad comes in and you're like, wait, what? Yeah, you have to practice a whole nother level of meditation. I get it. I totally get it. And so I'm sharing this because when we talk about setting the stage for transformation in 2025 and goals, what goals are you ready to commit to? Y'all, one of the goals that I'm ready to commit to is please help me out. I need to get to over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and over 4,000 hours so that way I can change where ads are on my YouTube channel. So that way, then the meditations, I can have control over them not being disrupted. That is one of my goals and intentions for 2025. If we can make it happen in 2024, y'all, I'm there for that miracle too. I am there. I am showing up. Yes, yes, yes. Please help me so I can help you. Yes, I'm all about that unity consciousness. Let's get it. Let's get that together and get it done. So I'm sharing that because this is what the Black New Moon in Capricorn is: set bold, grounded intentions for the new year. And that is one of my goals and intentions. And I'm hoping by sharing it that, you know what? It's being put out there in the ethers, whether or not you hear it or somebody else intuitively gets it. Oh my God, somebody the other day put a message on put one of the comments on one of my episodes and says, I have no idea how the algorithm got me to your page because I do not listen to any of this, but like, wow, I'm really grateful that the algorithm got me here. And I'm like, okay, thank you, universe. Because yes, there's the algorithm that YouTube thinks that they're doing, and then there's the old universe that has way more ability and power than we even understand. So I'm putting that out there to the universe for the highest good, that, you know what, work with me and let's be co-creators together. And I'm setting that intention, and that is one of my goals and dreams for, it could be for 2024. It's, you know what? It's only December 4th. Who knows? But I'm definitely setting it for 2024 into 2025. And yeah, and just really, really committing to contributing and growing the community on my podcast as well, on my Inspiring You Should podcast, on Spotify and wherever you listen to podcasts, but also on YouTube as well. So if you could help me, I'd appreciate that, my friends. But also for you, take time. What goals are you ready to commit to? What goals are you ready to tell people? Like, even me telling you this, that's kind of a big deal for me, where I'm like, hey, y'all, like, this is where I'm at. This is what I could use some support and some help in, and just really saying it out loud. So yeah, what are your goals you're ready to commit to? What are your intentions? And feel free to write it in the comments, because when we actually share this too out loud, when we're voicing it, it's connecting to the universe. It's letting the universe know. And so if you send your intentions in the comments, and if you want to receive Reiki to your intentions, I will send Reiki to your intentions to support your manifestation for the highest good if you wish to receive. So if you do, then let me know. Put your intentions, your goals in, and I'll send Reiki to it. And what's amazing is when you do energy work is that there have been moments when when I was having problems with just some of the tech stuff on YouTube. I would send Reiki to it, and there's one symbol that I would send to find the connection, because I literally one time I lost connection, audio, video, for like a couple minutes, and I was like, "Oh gosh." And I had full internet and I was doing a live stream, and so I turned on Reiki and I send Reiki to the situation, and I asked to find the lost connection, and then literally it came on. It was Reiki. And it's amazing. It is really amazing, how much this actually works. And one of the reason why the guides, though, have wanted me to share about YouTube and what I need is because in my human experience, there has been times when I have just been doing so much solo work. Like, I work with my guides a lot, but in this physical world, I often am doing stuff solo work. And because we're moving into unity consciousness, the guides are like, it's time, like, ask for people's help and support. You are in a community, you're cultivating a community. So ask for their help and support. Voice what you need to the community so that they can support you, because you're supporting them. It is then, you're sharing and giving and receiving in terms of the energy, in terms of the giving and receiving. So that's why, and they've really encouraged me many, many, many times. And I also have had so many other lessons that I've personally learned through this experience that has been so beneficial with setting up YouTube, which I will talk about later, because I think sometimes people think that things have to be at a really fast paced growth. And for me, how YouTube has evolved has been a really perfect pace, because there's elements that I needed to really get used to. And one of them is live streaming, where I am such a highly sensitive person. I'm an energy Yes, I'm an energy practitioner, but I'm so highly sensitive. Like, anybody that just comes on to my channel, I can feel the energy. And so I was used to it from Instagram, from Facebook, but TikTok and YouTube have a lot more people coming through in lives than Instagram and Facebook. Instagram and Facebook, as an energy practitioner and somebody who's highly sensitive person who's an intuitive empath, it feels more contained and static. Whereas TikTok, especially TikTok, it is like whoom, whoom, whoom. People like are coming and going, coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. And so YouTube has a sense of that as well, where people can just pop on and off on your channel. And when you're somebody who's highly sensitive, when you are truly somebody who's an intuitive empath that can feel people's energy, you literally are like, oh, somebody else came in. So it's a pacing that you have to get used to be able to hold your groundedness and alignment, and be able to be okay with all these different energies coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. And so there's been many moments where, I'll ask for like Reiki to be sent, or restabilize, you know, restabilize the situation. And so having it grow this way has been one of the best things for me that I just did not realize until later this summer. When I realized, oh, I had a moment where I was like, the information finally came in where I could clearly see it. And I got, wow. This has been for my highest good in terms of the way it's been growing. So that way that I could get used to and be able to be in these live streams with this amount of people coming from different places all around the world and be able to hold the space. It's about understanding how to hold the space. And so I'm so grateful for that. So that is why I get it. Like I get why. And I'm sharing with you because now things are really shifting where now I understand I've had this practice all year in terms of live streaming with YouTube, and I've been live streaming a lot with TikTok. And so now it's like a whole nother like, okay, let's, game on to another level, which means then now I'm sharing and I'm then ready for that next level. And so I share that because with it, last month, one of the themes was layers of transformation. Layers of transformation. I think sometimes people just want to get to the end so quickly, and we're here to learn, grow, and evolve. We are an evolving story. If you get to the end, then you're passing on. Like, don't be in a rush. And I know that it can be hard at times. It can feel confusing. You can feel, oh, but I get it, y'all. But there may be a greater reason that you can't see yet because you're in the middle of it. So be patient with the process of the unfolding. Use your tools. And then also use this time to clear any energy or any blocks that might be blocking you from your dreams. And then set big dreams, clear intentions, and goals for this transformative 2025 that we're coming into. So that is it for now, my friends. And before we go, we always do delink. So say this after me if it resonates with you. All right. I asked to break the links with this meditation, with this Reiki and group, with this Reiki, because I always do send Reiki to the situation before I do a talk. So if you ever want to receive Reiki when I'm doing a talk, you can just ask, like, can I receive Reiki for the highest good? And you'll be surprised. Like all of a sudden you're like, wait, I feel a little clarity or I feel more at peace. It's because I set the intention. And so you are an empowered creator. You call to you what you want for your highest good. So Reiki always respects free will. So I asked to break the links with this meditation. I asked to break the links to Reiki. I asked to break the links, leaving only harmony and balance at either ends. I asked to clear any residual energies being held in my body as a result of these links. I ask that light fill the void, cells, rejuvenates, refreshes, revitalizes for the highest good with ease and grace. And so it is. And so it is, my friends. In gratitude, much, much love. May peace be with you. And we are complete for now. Until soon, my friends.